Have you ever stopped to think about how some questions, even really simple ones, can carry so much weight? Well, today we're going to dive into the social science behind one of the most common and maybe one of the most revealing questions you can ever ask someone you just met.
Yeah, you know the one. You've asked it, you've been asked it. It's the default question at parties, networking events, heck, even on first dates. It just feels like the most natural way to get a conversation going, right? But what is really going on just beneath the surface? Because you see, in those 5 simple words, we're doing so much more than just making small talk. We are, whether we know it or not, launching this super sophisticated, high-speed social analysis. And the answer we get, it can change the entire course of the conversation that follows. So to really get to the bottom of this, we're going to lean on some amazing research that decodes what this question is actually for. We're going to unpack all the hidden signals, the unconscious sorting, and yeah, the social stakes that are at play every single time it's asked.
And our guide for this whole explainer is a fascinating paper by Dr. Rony Rodas. He's a researcher who specializes in exactly this stuff, how we humans interact with each other in all kinds of social settings. His work pulls together decades of research from sociology, psychology, and even economics to figure out the true purpose of this question.
And here's the core idea from his study, which I think is just brilliant. The question is basically a social chameleon. In one situation, it's just a friendly way to break the ice. But in another, it's a tool for sizing someone up, a high-stakes ranking device that can determine respect, interest, and even opportunity. The study even maps out this whole process for us in a model. You can see how the question asked in some social setting lets us pull out signals like income or prestige from the answer. We then take those signals and interpret them, and that leads to real social outcomes, like figuring out someone's status or their value to our network. It's a surprisingly efficient, if a little cold, system for social evaluation. So Dr. Rodas's work pinpoints 5 main functions. You can think of them as 5 hidden messages that are all packed inside this one question. These are really the core reasons we feel so compelled to ask it, almost immediately after we meet someone. Okay, let's break these down. First up, uncertainty reduction. This is the simplest one, just trying to make a stranger feel a little less strange, more predictable. Second, status sorting. This is where we're sizing someone up, trying to figure out where they fit in the social ladder. Third, we have mate screening, a quick check for things like stability and resources. Fourth is safety vetting. Basically, is this person legit? And finally, network utility. Could this person be a useful contact for me down the road? And what's wild is, we're often running a few of these at the very same time. So, why do we do this? Is it just a weird social habit? Nope. This isn't just a hunch. It's all grounded in some really well-established theories from psychology and sociology that explain our deep, deep need to categorize and evaluate each other really quickly. The first piece of the puzzle is something called uncertainty reduction theory. It's a fancy name for a simple idea. Our brains hate uncertainty. When we meet someone new, we're wired to just grab data to reduce that anxiety. And a job title? That's a huge piece of data. It helps us predict someone's lifestyle, their schedule, even their interests, and makes them feel less like a total mystery. Then you've got expectation states theory. Now this one explains that status sorting function we talked about. We use these external cues, and a job is a really powerful one, to instantly form expectations about a person's competence and where they might sit in a hierarchy. And this can subconsciously change how much we listen to them or how much respect we show them. And finally, there's signaling theory. This one is absolutely crucial for things like mate screening. I mean, you can't directly see traits like ambition or stability or how much someone earns. So we rely on a job title as an observable signal to help us guess at all those hidden qualities. And the data from the study actually backs this all up. If you look at the graph on the left, it shows that the most common reason we ask the question is for status sorting, to figure out where someone fits. And the graph on the right shows which theory best explains why we do that, and expectation states is the clear winner. So it really confirms that we lean heavily on jobs as a shortcut to judge competence. Okay, so knowing all this, how can we actually use it to have better conversations? The point isn't to just ban the question forever, but to be a little more mindful of what it does so we can build more genuine connections. So let's get into some practical advice. So here's the thing. A small shift in how you phrase a question can completely change the dynamic. Instead of that high-stakes "what do you do," which puts all the focus on status and work, you could try a much more low-stakes alternative, like "what are you into lately?" or "what's been getting you excited recently?"
That invites a conversation about passions and identity, not just a job title.
And here are a few more helpful tips from the research. If you're at a networking event, look, the question is pretty legitimate. Just be aware that your tone is key to showing you're genuinely interested. On a date, if you ask it, immediately follow up with something like, "What do you enjoy about it?" That shows you care about the person, not just the position. And hey, if someone gets defensive when you ask, that's a pretty good sign they felt like you were trying to rank them. Ultimately, it all comes back to this one simple truth. Context matters. The power and the meaning behind "what do you do" are completely dependent on the situation. Who's asking? Where are they asking? And why are they asking? Understanding that context helps us both ask better questions and maybe interpret them a little more generously. So is the question inherently bad? Not really. It's a tool. And like any tool, right, it can be used to build connections or it can be used to put up walls. It's just a really powerful shortcut our brains use for sorting, for screening, and hopefully for connecting with the people around us. So the next time you meet someone new and you feel those words about to come out of your mouth, just take a beat. Think about what information you're truly looking for. Are you trying to connect with this person or are you just trying to classify them? What will you really be asking?